Welcome to the One Star Weak Foot Show, FIFA 21 edition, starring your host, One Star Weak Foot, and our review specialist, One Star Weak Foot. Bow! Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, and welcome to the One Star Weak Foot Show, your one-stop shop for player reviews. I'm going to be your host today, One Star Weak Foot, and it makes me feel so amazing to see you back on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, as you guys know, Monday tends to be the day where I look at the promo team, I look at the spiciest looking card, the most interesting looking player, and I decide to review them. But for this promo, there's just so many good cards that I want to review. I mean, the Salah is looking tasty. Once again, we have a special Rashford in packs. There's just a lot of interesting cards. But there are two cards in particular that tickle my pickle. The first one's going to be Zakaria. And when you look at the card, he looks a lot like a cheap man's Vieira. The second one is going to be Klostermann, who once again is looking like a cheap man's version of Rafael Varane. But don't take my word for it. Let's look at the cards. The first one we talked about is 85 rated, Road to the Finals Zakaria. And when you look at the card, I mean, he has the makings of a meta Vieira type defensive mid. He's 6'3". He has medium work rates. He's right-footed with a 3-star combination. As you guys see here, I have played 4 games with him in Rivals, and I got 1 goal and 1 assist. Before we go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a favor, hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, do me a big favor, do me a big solid, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. So, Zakaria. He looks like a beast. He has 85 pace. Defending and physical wise, there is hardly a thing wrong with him. The jumping and heading accuracy is not that great, but I doubt it's going to be an issue. 67 jumping at 6'3" is still going to be halfway decent. Dribbling wise, he's gotten quite a big upgrade. 81 dribbling is not that bad. 87 composure is of course essential, and 71 agility and 66 balance is not that great, but I've seen it get much worse for cards like him. Passing wise, he's gotten a big upgrade as well. It's gone from 73 to 77, and the key stats here are very decent. 85 short passing, 78 vision. I decided to throw an engine chem style on him to really boost the dribbling and passing because I feel like that's what he needs the most. Shooting wise, there is nothing. All right, next one we're going to talk about here is going to be 83 rated, Road to the Finals Lucas Klostermann. And when you look at the card, once again, he's giving me Varane vibes. He's giving me Rio vibes. How does he feel in game? We're going to see. He's 6'2". He has medium work rates. He's right-footed with the 2-star skills, the 3-star weak foot. Once again, I have played 4 games with him in Rivals, and I have not scored a goddamn thing with him. When you look at this card, though, he looks insane for the meta. I mean, pace is what you really need here. Defending-wise, he has all the important stats. There are a few things I'm concerned about here. The first one being the 72 composure. It's very rare to have a top-end player on this game with such low composure. We're going to see how that affects them. Secondly, I'm not liking that strength. 78 strength, 75 aggression might make him feel flimsy. Passing-wise, he does look decent, though. And dribbling-wise, once again, for a center back, I think he looks quite exceptional. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you over to our review specialist in the studios, One Star Weak Foot. Take it away. Thanks, One Star. So, as you guys know, we are reviewing 2 players. Player number 1, Road to the Finals Zakaria. He is selling for 225,000 coins on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? I would have to say absolutely. I think for that price, it's very hard to name a better center defensive mid. We're going to break down the stats, though. So, first we're going to talk about his pace. He has 85 pace, and in-game, he feels rapid, all right? He's very similar to Vieira in the sense that he covers a lot of ground with his long legs and his very high pace. Accelerating out of skill moves was surprisingly good, and when I got caught on the counter, this guy was always the first one back. Overall, I gotta give this guy's pace a 9 out of 10. For CDMs, he is absolutely elite. Next, we will be talking about the shooting, and there's really not much to talk about here. Do not shoot with this guy unless you're in a clear shooting angle. What I will say though is that I scored an absolute banger outside the box with him. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if the game glitched, but I finessed it from the top of the box, and that thing hit the back of the net. Otherwise, I did not score with him. I did not like his shot at all, and overall, I gotta give his shooting a 5 out of 10. Next, we will be talking about his passing and dribbling ability. because to be worth that money as a CDM, you have to have at least a little bit of ability in these regards. And honestly, he was fine on the ball. His passing was surprisingly solid. I wouldn't say it was amazing. I wouldn't say he's a playmaker, a deep line playmaker at all, but he does enough to keep the opposition honest. He has a very nice weighting to his passes, and as long as you don't ask for too much out of him as far as passing goes, he'll be fine. And his short passes, when you're really linking up play, are very, very nice. What I will say about his dribbling is that you probably shouldn't move around too much with him. You probably shouldn't be using him to take the ball and then push the ball forward. He's better at one-touch passing once he gets the ball, because with his body type, I mean, let's face it, he's gonna feel like a truck. And if you're hit with delay or if you're being pressed, he's not the one you want passing off balance. He's just not gonna hit that pass. Otherwise, he did feel decent on the ball for CDM of his stature, and his 87 composure means his one-touch passing, once again, is very nice, so that's the way to use him. Overall, on the ball, I gotta give him a 7 out of 10. He does enough, but he's not amazing at it at all. Finally, we'll be talking about his defending and physical, and yo, honestly, this guy has had the biggest impact I've ever seen out of a CDM on this game, aside from Conte. Conte makes a big impact as well, but they're different kinds of CDMs. And if you enjoy CDMs like Sissoko, like Partey, like Vieira, this guy is another level. I mean, his tackle is insane, but what really separates his tackle from other CDMs is the amount of strength, the amount of power going into it. He wins every single 50-50 ball, and that's just because of how goddamn big and physical he is. His interceptions at 83 are very nice as well, especially with his long legs. And his 82 stamina is not ideal, but I found because of how quick he is, he doesn't really feel that bad when he's tired. Overall, I gotta give his defending and physical a 9.5 out of 10. It is absolutely class. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think if you need an out and out CDM and are able to really pair him with more advanced midfielders or midfielders who are going to advance the ball more, he's a no-brainer. I mean, he does his job, he does it well. Defensively and physically is absolutely elite. Passing and dribbling wise, he's not ideal, but he's able to get the job done. And pace wise, you already know this guy's not going to be beat on any counter. Overall, I got to give him a 9.25 out of 10. He's not the most well-rounded card, but what he does well, he does exceptionally well. Next, we'll be talking about Klostermann, and he's selling for 380,000 coins on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? I would have to say not quite on this one, Chief. We're going to break it down, though, so I can explain myself. So, first we're going to talk about his pace. He has 86 pace, and this is definitely the standout stat on this card. This guy feels rapid, and once again, when you're being countered, this guy will not be beat for pace. Overall, this guy's pace is a 9 out of 10. I mean, I don't really know how much better it gets at this position. Next, we'll be talking about his on-the-ball abilities, his dribbling, and his passing. And honestly, he was decent, all right? I wouldn't quite say he felt like a fullback on the ball. He felt like a center back who was comfortable on the ball. He's able to L1 dribble a little bit. He's able to spray an over-the-top pass, and he's not going to hit it every time, but he has a decent accuracy with it. When he's being pressed, I would say be careful. His 72 composure really makes itself evident, but overall, I think he's very decent on the ball, and I got to give him an 8 out of 10. If you pair him with somebody bigger, somebody more imposing, I think that will make a very, very nice pairing. Next, we'll be talking about his defending, and honestly, I had no issues here. His tackle was very clean, his stand tackle. His defensive awareness was nice, and I noticed his AI was very, very smart. It made a lot of last-ditch auto blocks, last-ditch saves that really helped me not concede so many goals. His interceptions are fine as well. Physically is where he lets me down, and it's very annoying because he has pretty much 95% of what it takes to be a top-tier center back on this game. But his 78 strength, his 75 aggression is something I just can't get over. You could have low strength, in my opinion, as a center back and be okay if your aggression is high. Or vice versa. Maybe your strength is high and your aggression is low. You'll be fine. But I found that this guy got bullied off the ball by players like Fati, like Lucas. And I shudder to even think of what would happen if I faced a Ronaldo or an Mbappe. This guy would be dusted, left on the ground, and they would take his lunch money. I felt like he was definitely feeling decently flimsy on the challenge for somebody who cost that much money. Otherwise, physically, he's fine. Overall, I gotta give this guy's physical a 7 out of 10, and his defending a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think he's the kind of card that needs another upgrade. I think one more upgrade on this card, maybe get 2 or 3 more stat boosts in strength and aggression, and maybe he'll be a viable card. Or maybe worth the money, I would say, because he's still a viable card. He's a very good card. But for the money, I don't really know it's that big of an upgrade over his non-inform to justify him being 300,000 coins and his non-inform being like 10, 20k. I don't think it's really all there for me as far as value goes. He's the kind of player where you just have to wait for him to get upgraded 1 or 2 times and he's going to be insane. But at this moment, I can't say I think it's worth the money. Alright guys, so that's going to be my double review. Hopefully you guys at home enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next episode. But until then, later.